What's going on, guys? It is Frankie here. It is week 5 of the 2021 NFL season. It's time to make some predictions. We're going to pick every game except the Raiders game and Chargers game because those two teams haven't played yet. Other than that, here are the picks for week 5. The Thursday night game, the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. The Rams are a 1.5 favorite. The Rams coming off a really tough loss against the Cardinals. And look, Kyler Murray and company are really good, but that was kind of disappointing there to see just how bad they looked against them. I mean, again, Kyler Murray's great, but to see, and now you face off against another mobile quarterback. I mean, you let Murray throw for 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now you get Wilson in there. But it doesn't make me really concerned about the Rams because they did just beat the defending Super Bowl champions. So, it was a bad performance from the Rams, but I still have trust in them, still believe in them. Seattle coming off a big win against San Francisco. They needed that. They really did after all the struggles they've had here as of late. They really need to pull that off, and they did. It was great seeing Russell Wilson be typical Russell Wilson here. The defense, you still have major concerns over, but hey, they got it done here in this game. I think for this week, I'm going to go with the Rams. I think Seattle's defense is still very suspect. There's still a lot of problems with it, and I don't think the Rams are going to have problems back-to-back weeks. Especially on the offensive side. I mean, they may have trouble with Wilson because, again, we saw them struggle against a mobile quarterback last week. We'll see how it happens here on Thursday in a short week. But I think the Rams are just better right now. And that's most of my picks come down to is the team better. I just feel like the Rams are just better. Again, they're coming off a win against Tampa, slowed down against Arizona, but I think they fight back here. Tough road game. It's gonna be a fun game. I mean, Seattle's gonna be up for that game. The fans are gonna go crazy for that one. I just feel like in this one, the Rams have the edge. They're going to have the advantage there, and I think they take the win. Give me the Rams -1.5. The New York Jets take on the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are 3.5-point favorites. This is another bad game, even though the Jets did win yesterday. So happy about that. It was good to see Zach Wilson show what he can do and what his potential is. I still don't think the Jets are going anywhere this year. I still don't think they're a great team. Atlanta, I mean, that was just another awful loss against Washington. I mean, you let Washington run down the field there at the end. They do such a terrible job here in fourth quarters. This is the London game. We continue to send London our worst. We're not sending them our best. But this is just another blah game. I don't even think I'm going to get home. I'm not going to rush home. There's probably a Formula 1 race. I'll probably watch that instead of watching Jets Falcons. It's in Sunday morning at Wembley. I'll go with Atlanta here. I think they're better. And, gosh, I really have to trust Atlanta, but I can't trust the Jets yet. So I'll go with Atlanta, but don't bet this game. Give me the Falcons -3.5. The Green Bay Packers take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Packers are 3.5-point favorites. I think we all realized that week 1 for the Packers was probably, that not indicative of what they've done here in the last 3 weeks. Rodgers and Cobb were great together here yesterday against Pittsburgh. They really just had a great connection. I mean, they always do, but especially here in this game, they had so many big plays against Pittsburgh. Mason Crosby's on fire right now. So Green Bay just got it real easy right here, and I think they've definitely improved off the terrible start they had in week 1. The Bengals, you know what? Bengals not bad. The Bengals are not bad at all. I was worried about this team heading in. I'm like, I don't think they have the talent, the offensive line. That was, look, it's Jacksonville, but they did what they need to do here in this game. They played well. They got the game-winning field goal at the end. Joe Burrow is showing that he might have he's got a great future. Him and Chase, I think, are going to be, as I've said, I think they're going to be wonderful. I just still don't think it's the time for Cincinnati yet. I mean, if Cincinnati can beat Green Bay here, then we might be able to start having legitimate conversations about, is Cincinnati a legit playoff contender? I don't think I'm ready to sit there and go all the way there yet. I'm taking Green Bay here in this game. Again, Rodgers, Cobb, they seem like they've got everything working here. I mean, what did Cobb have? 5 catches, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns yesterday. So those two are going to be working well together. Burrow, I think, will have a fine game. They'll be at home. There'll be some competitiveness there. But I just think that Rodgers is just on a mission right now, man. Last dance. I was concerned about his motivation after week 1, but now here heading into week 5, I'm like, I think he wants to win. He wants to get one more before he gets out of here. I'm going to take Green Bay to win this game here. Win by 6 or 7 over the Bengals. Give me the Packers -3.5. The Detroit Lions take on the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are 7.5-point favorite. Neither one of these teams I am that confident in, mainly because I've talked about my distrust with Kirk Cousins here. Detroit is just bad. It is, I mean, the Jared Goff interception yesterday where the center, bad snap, Goff fumbles it in his hands and it lands in a defensive lineman's arms. One of the worst things I've ever seen. It's the first team in the last 40 years to reach the end zone in each of the first 3 possessions and fail to score any points. That's just incredible. 4 red zone drives where they come up completely empty yesterday against Chicago. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any easier because they got the Vikings, got the Bengals coming up. It just looks like a real struggle here for the Lions. And they got injuries with Ragnow and Akwara, excuse me. So I think this game is set up perfectly here for Minnesota. Even though Dalvin Cook looks like he injured his ankle, let's hope he's okay. Looks like they'll give Alexander Madison a chance to run here. The run defense is a problem here up for Minnesota. I don't think that's going to cost them here in this game. Vikings are at home. It's 7.5. Am I really trusting the Lions to come through and cover the spread here? Yesterday was a bad performance against the Browns. I mean, that was a surprisingly low-scoring game. I thought we were going to see more fireworks than that. But just nothing working for either one of those teams. I just think Minnesota's offense is going to have control of this game. I think Detroit, it's just looking really bad for them right now. It's a real struggle for them. I think in this game, Minnesota really takes advantage. I think Minnesota wins easily. Give me the Vikings, -7.5. The Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are 1-point favorite. I don't get this line at all. Ben is looking awful right now. He's the only quarterback in the past 20 years to lose yardage on multiple 4th down completions in the same season. He looked better, I think, yesterday against Green Bay, but still not great. I mean, there were a couple passes to Juju yesterday that were overthrown. It looks like Drew Brees did last year. It's a real struggle for them. I guess they're giving the edge to Pittsburgh because they're at home here. But there's just a lot of mistakes they're making. Look, I guess the reason why, now thinking about it, the reason why you give the edge to Pittsburgh is because we don't know the status of Teddy Bridgewater right now. We don't know if he's going to be okay. He's got a concussion. We can hope he can come back for next week. If they're going to put Drew Lock in there, that seems like that's going to be a problem. I'm going to roll with the Broncos. I say Bridgewater comes back. I know I'm not a doctor, so it's dumb for me to make that prediction. This is another game. Don't bet at all because Pittsburgh has shown nothing that makes me think that they are legitimately good right now, especially on offense. But I think Denver's still got a great defense. I think that would be able to control it here. And if Bridgewater's not playing, that's obviously going to hurt them. But I say Bridgewater plays. I don't know his status. Hopefully he'll be there. And I think Denver just finds a way to get this win. And maybe Ben throws a pick six. It's again, this is a really bad game. Before this, I was like, Denver, maybe Denver can with Bridgewater. But again, now with Bridgewater out, it's just Pittsburgh just it's just not working right now. They have had a complete meltdown since the last half of second half of last season when they lost to Washington. It's been a complete collapse since then. So in this game, Denver's 1-point underdog. I'm going to roll with Denver here. Maybe it's a dumb pick, maybe it's a stupid pick, but I'm going to trust Denver here to get something, and hopefully Bridgewater will be able to play in this game. Give me the Broncos +1. The Miami Dolphins take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 10-point favorites. There was a lot of discussion yesterday about Tom Brady, his first game back in New England. What was it going to be? And it was not the prettiest game for the Buccaneers. Their offense struggled a lot in the red zone. Their defense was not ideal. I mean, they've got injured corners with Carlton Davis has got a quad injury, and Antonio Winfield off with concussion. Mac Jones. I wasn't as in love with the Patriots with Mac Jones as a lot of other people on the internet were, but I thought he did fine. I thought he had a real solid game there. But the Bucs just have a lot of corners. They do have the best rushing defense in the league, so that helps there. But they were able to get the win. But yeah, it was not what I expected here from Tampa Bay. It was not what I really was hoping for. As for Miami, they are really, really bad about Tua. They're going to need Tua, and it looks like they're going to get Tua back maybe in 2 weeks. They're going to need him sooner rather than later. And, gosh, they just did nothing. Colts had one of the worst defenses in the league, and the Dolphins were held to 3 yards per play yesterday. Jacoby Brissett only attempted one pass longer than 20 yards. They didn't crack 100 yards until midway through the fourth quarter. Second straight week at a lot of 100-yard rusher. It's a real problem here for the Dolphins. Everything. They're going to need their offense to really get going here. Tampa Bay, though, if there's a time for Tampa Bay to get any of their offensive problems or defensive problems for the most part, but if there's a chance to get their offense really working again, it's this game. It's It's at home against a bad Miami team that's still struggling without Tua. 10 points. I like the 10 here in this case. I think Tampa gets it done. I hope Gronk comes back. We have not heard if Gronk is going to be back for this game yet. You never know with him because he seems like he's always injured. I'm going to hope that he's back. I think that'll be back. If he's definitely back, then I'm definitely taking Tampa Bay here. I still will lean with Tampa Bay here in this game because Miami's just shown me nothing here on offense that makes me confident, that makes me believe in them. So in this game, I think Tampa Bay takes control after the emotional week last week. They come down off that, and I think they still deliver a solid performance over Miami. Give me the Buccaneers -10. The New Orleans Saints and the Washington to be determines. The Saints are 1-point favorite. That was a just garbage loss yesterday, and I was happy the Giants got the win, but that was a complete garbage loss. In your first home game with fans in, almost 2 years, especially it's been delayed because of the hurricane, and you come in there and you let the Giants run all the way down the field there late in the fourth quarter and in overtime. Bad offensive performance there. I don't know why they didn't go to Alvin Kamara more. I guess because they relied on him so much already. But that was bizarre. Jameis, he tried in this game. I meant Kamara in terms of receiving. They didn't give the receiving to him more. I know they tried here late in this game, but it was just bad to see how much they let the Giants just run all over them late in that game. And obviously they're going to need Michael Thomas to come back. I mean, they're 31st in the league. They were 31st in the league in passing yards per game. So they're desperately going to need Michael Thomas there to help. There's a lot of injuries. I mean, they were missing 8 projected week 1 starters. Not ideal for New Orleans here. Washington, it was a good win. It was a resilient win. I mean, that Taylor Heineke touchdown that he threw late, I don't know what the heck he was thinking there, but he pulled it off. He got the win. He hit J.D. McKissick for an unbelievable touchdown there. The defense is the biggest problem, though, with Washington right now. It's inexplicable how they've turned it around this bad into being this awful. Like, they went from a legit great defense, and probably the reason a lot of people thought they were going to go win the division here, if you were picking them, to just doing nothing here. And now it hurts that they have not had Fitzpatrick. But they allowed the NFL's 28th ranked offense to score 30 points yesterday. I don't understand it, and that is right now, and I never thought I'd say this, but that is the problem right now with Washington. That is the thing that is holding them back. So the Saints on the road, the Saints are still, I think, a better team. The Taylor Heineke factor tempts me to say, yeah, maybe I should go with Heineke. But at the end of the day, New Orleans is just an overall better team, and I think that they're going to figure it out here. And as long as Washington defense continues to be this bad, then I got to roll with New Orleans here. I got to trust New Orleans, roll with New Orleans, and say New Orleans gets it done here and pulls off this win. 1 point. It's only 1 on the road. I say the Saints get it done. Give me the Saints -1. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are 4-point favorites. The Eagles let me down yesterday. I took the Eagles to cover. They did not. But that's also because the Chiefs never cover, which we'll get to later in the picks. The Eagles are just doing so many dumb things right now. How many penalties that they have? They have 44 penalties through 4 weeks. I mean, it was good seeing Devontae Smith go over 100 yards. But they're so undisciplined right now. They're making so many dumb mistakes. They had 3 touchdowns yesterday taken off the board because of penalties. They kept Kansas City's drives going with penalties. They're doing so many dumb things. And now you got a tough schedule coming up. You got Carolina, you got Tampa, and you got the Raiders. It is not easy sailing here for the Eagles, and their defense has been a real problem. They in the last 2 games, 83 points and more than 850 yards they've given up. Carolina, on the other hand, look, I actually did not hate that performance. I mean, they looked good yesterday against Dallas for about a half, and then once Dallas started blitzing Sam, once he started to get pressure, he really, really struggled. In the second half, I'm trying to see, he had 2 interceptions in the third quarter. And he looked like the Jets quarterback, Sam, yesterday when he was getting blitzed. So maybe we figured it out. Maybe Philadelphia figured it out. Like if you or Dallas figured it out. If you blitz Sam, that's enough to start making him make mistakes. But Sam is. I've overall been very, very impressed with Sam. Even though yesterday was a little bit of a struggle there. Seeing him run the ball, I see people calling him Sam Newton now, which I think is funny. I still think Carolina, I think people were going overboard with Carolina. They were ready to say this team is great. And I was not ready to make that proclamation. I still think they were a good team. They were just not a top-tier elite team. But they have shown me a lot of good success here just yesterday, especially without 2 secondary players on defense. The defense is still a little bit of a weak spot. In this game, though, I'm going to take Carolina. I think Carolina is at home. I think Sam is going to be able to hopefully move on, figure out for mistakes here. And Philadelphia's defense continues to be just dreadful. And Jalen Hurts has looked really, really bad and has not looked like the quarterback that I'd hoped he would be last year. So, or at least, coming out of the draft or whatever it was. So, Carolina at home, it's 4 points. I'm going to take the Panthers here, and I say the offense does enough here. I think Sam makes a couple big plays in this game and wins it for them, and Philadelphia gets carved up on the defensive side. Give me the Panthers, -4. The Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Titans are 4-point favorites. That was an awful loss yesterday by Tennessee. I can't explain it. I don't know how they let the Jets just run all over them. That was the second time in 4 games they've allowed 6 sacks. 5 of them came on 3rd down. The offensive line is a real, real weak spot here, and they're not scoring in the red zone. They've only scored touchdowns on 52% of its red zone visits. They were in the red zone yesterday 5 times. They only scored once. They only scored 1 touchdown, excuse me. So, I mean, it seems like old Pittsburgh Steelers syndrome where you're playing down to your opponent, and you can't do that against the Jets. I mean, come on. And for Jacksonville, just whatever. I mean, the Urban Meyer stuff is bizarre. I mean, it was trending this weekend for a completely other reason other than playing the main coach. It's a real. I don't know what's gonna happen with Meyer there. I don't know if he's gonna be out or whatever. I mean, Trevor Lawrence didn't turn over the ball. He looked solid there. Robinson had 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. The offense showed a little bit of promise, but the defense still is a real struggle here. And that is I think probably the biggest problem with this team right now. Even though for the most part there's a lot of problems with Jacksonville. Give me Tennessee. Tennessee's a 4-point favorite. I'm rolling with the Titans here. They can't be this bad. It can't be. I mean, yeah, the offensive line might be a problem, but I think Tannehill and Henry, I think those two will work it together here against the dreadful Jacksonville defense. I think they'll tear them apart. And yeah, Jacksonville's just awful. So give me the Tennessee here. I'm liking Tennessee. Give me the Titans -4. The New England Patriots and the Houston Texans. The Patriots are 9-point favorites. I think for Mac Jones, I'm still not 100% sold on Mac Jones, but he did show to me that, like, okay, this guy definitely has potential. He did show, yes. I mean, he was very calm, very poised. Only 1 interception. At one point he completed 19 straight passes. It was not. I didn't feel like it was the most electrifying performance because even though the Patriots, he looked good at times. The Patriots only scored 14 points, so it was not the most unbelievable. Like, I wasn't totally enamored by him the way I saw a lot of people on social media going after him, but I did think he played well. And it was good to see him there. Say, okay, maybe with a little bit more tuning up, this guy can be not maybe Tom Brady's replacement, but he can be a real solid entity for the next few years. So in this game here, and yeah, yesterday was a tough loss. I mean, missing the 56-yard field goal at the end, just rough. And the defense had one of their better games of the season against Tampa Bay. They really shut them down there. As for the Texans, I don't think there's anything good to say about it. They are garbage. Everything about them is trash. It is just a pathetic display right now. I mean, David Mills cannot do anything. They can't run the ball. Looking here at the stats, they have minus 23 net passing yards in the first half. The fewest by any team in the first half since 1999. It's just nothing is going right for this team. I mean, yeah, we knew it was a rebuilding year, but they're really, really making a strong case for the first pick. I'll go with New England here. This is the kind of game where if you're Mac Jones, this is, even though it's on the road, you're going up against arguably the worst team in the NFL. Like, you got your opportunity here. You got your chance to really show what you can do. I think Patriots win this one pretty easily. I mean, there were people that were very hesitant yesterday about, do I take the Bills on the spread? It's 17 points. Do I take the Bills? And the Bills destroyed them. They absolutely destroyed them. It took them later on to really get to 20, 30, and 40, but holy cow. We had a Mitchell Trubisky cameo yesterday. That's how bad it got for New England or for Houston. Patriots should win this game. They should win it easily, and they should be getting back on track after the loss yesterday. Give me the Patriots -9 over Houston. The New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are 7-point favorites. Both of these teams coming off wins, which I did not think was going to happen. That was a very good win for the Giants yesterday. It was great to see Daniel Jones show what he can do. And we've seen it so... It's been so infrequent that we've seen the Giants be this great. We've seen Daniel Jones be this great. We've seen the moments. We know that he can do it. He's just not been able to do it consistently. And he did it yesterday, and it was awesome to see. It was great seeing Saquon deliver, on the receiving end. 402 yards for Jones yesterday. I'm still not ready because I feel like this has happened like 4 or 5 times in the last 5 years where the Giants, oh wow, they had a nice win. Here we go. They could be turning around and then they lose like 45-12 to some team like that. So I'm still not sold. Even though yesterday it was good seeing Barkley and Kenny Galladay have 6 catches for 116 yards and seeing Tony have 6 catches for 78 yards. It was good seeing the Giants offense show what they can do against New Orleans. But are they really beating Dallas? If they can beat Dallas, then I can sit there and go, okay, maybe the Giants have something here. Dallas yesterday, that was a fantastic victory against Carolina. To see Zeke have the performance that he did, 100 yards, top-ranked running defense in the league, and they had 100 yards, 4 touchdowns from Dak. Trayvon Diggs with 2 interceptions. Everything about this game worked, and is it too early? Because I feel like we've done this so often. Like when the Dallas has a little bit of momentum, do we go, are they a legit contender? It really feels like I'm not ready to say Super Bowl contender yet, but they could make some noise here in the NFC. Like the way they challenged Tampa Bay, and Carolina's got a pretty good run defense, and to see them tear that apart there in the second half, destroying Philadelphia, and those are again 2 great defenses there, and to see Dallas show up like that was impressive. I say in this game, I think Dallas takes control. Dallas is at home. It's going to be obviously a very rowdy home atmosphere. But in this game, I think Dallas wins. I want to believe that the Giants are going to turn the corner here, but I've seen this way too many times. I can't believe it yet. I don't have total faith yet. I'm going to roll with Carolina. Or I'm sorry, not Carolina. I'm going to roll with Dallas. Dallas, 7-point favorites. I think that the offense really sets the tempo here in this game, and they pull out the win. Give me the Cowboys, -7. The San Francisco 49ers take on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are 5-point favorites. Tough loss yesterday for San Francisco against Seattle, especially now that you lose Jimmy G with a right calf injury. Lance was okay. He showed moments, but for 9 for 18, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 41 yards and 7 carries. Showed moments there. It took him a while to get going. Still not. We don't know who's going to start. We don't know if Jimmy G's going to come back. Obviously, we've had injuries be a problem with him before. So the Niners had a chance in that game against Seattle, and they just could not overcome it. Obviously the problems at cornerback, the injuries. It's just a real problem there for San Francisco. Arizona, on the other hand, excellent win yesterday against the Rams. One of the better wins. Who would have thought heading into the season that the 2 undefeated teams we'd have were the Cardinals and the Raiders? Like, that is mind-boggling to me. It's not that we didn't think the Cardinals were good, but this is really impressive stuff from them so far. Then the Raiders, of course, we'll see if they stay undefeated after Monday night. But who would have thought? The Niners, the Cardinals and the Raiders. It's crazy to think. Kyler Murray had another fantastic game. The Cardinals' offense is averaging 35 points a game. It really silenced the Rams' defense yesterday. First win for Arizona over the Rams in 4 years, which is crazy. I did not think that was that was something that happened in 4 years in a row. But I guess the Rams have been good for the most part for the last 4 years, and the Cardinals haven't. So good to see the Cardinals get that done. I don't think they're going to go undefeated here, but they're looking so good. They've got a lot of confidence in them right now, and I think that continues here against San Francisco. Again, I don't think the Cardinals are going to go undefeated. At some point they'll lose. I just don't know when that will be. I think in this game it continues. I think the streak continues. We don't all the uncertainty about San Francisco and the quarterback position and the injuries there. I think the Cardinals with their offense continues. They're at home. They're going to light it up. There's going to be a lot of momentum. There's going to be a lot of excitement. I think in this game the Cardinals really take advantage. They win this one pretty easily. Give me the Cardinals -5. The Sunday night game, the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites. This is maybe an AFC Championship rematch. It might be an AFC Championship preview. Very, very exciting game here. Buffalo is showing what they can do. After a little bit of struggles early on at the beginning of the season, they're showing, it was the Texans. But the offense really came alive yesterday. Dawson Knox has been fun to watch here. What is that? 4 touchdowns on the season for him. It was good to see Allen come through. They have problems scoring in the red zone. Only 3? Against Houston, they only scored touchdowns on 3 of their 7 trips, including none of the first 4 trips. So a little bit of concern there. But and the defense is doing a good job. They 5 turnovers against Houston. Again, it's Houston, and they held them to 100 yards. But again, it's Houston. But they really showed us what they can do there. Kansas City is amazing, as we all know. They finally covered a spread yesterday, which was impressive. To beat down on Philadelphia like that. To see Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Those two have obviously been working fantastic together for so long. But it was great seeing them yesterday just really come alive. And the defense is still a problem. The defense is still a major concern. And that's why I'm taking Buffalo here. I can't trust this defense yet. I also still can't trust them covering the spread yet, which is something that they've had many problems with here. It's a 2.5-point spread. I think Buffalo, either they'll lose this game really close or they're going to pull out the win. I did also take Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl this year and win the Super Bowl, so I got to stick with that here. And Buffalo is showing, even though we have concerns about their red zone offense, there are a couple problems there. Overall, I think Buffalo's offense will be able to take more advantage of Kansas City's defense than Kansas City's offense will take advantage of Buffalo's defense. I know it's a weird statement because Kansas City's offense is unbelievable, but I just think Kansas City's defense is going to keep Buffalo in the game. And I think eventually Josh Allen will make that one big play to either win the game or make it close. Either way, I think this is a spread that Buffalo covers. This will be a fun, exciting game, at least I hope. Sunday night game, this is going to be just crazy, the amount of intensity going on in this one. But I think Buffalo does it. I think Buffalo covers the spread. Give me the Bills plus 2.5. The Monday night game, the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are 7-point favorites. Colts coming off a desperately needed win against Miami. Not the easiest win, of course, but they did it. Jonathan Taylor rushed for 103 yards. And they took pressure off Carson Wentz, who desperately needs that because he's not been healthy. And Wentz was fine yesterday, 24 for 32, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. And they shut down Miami's defense or Miami's offense. Even though Miami's offense, we talked about it, they have problems. They really silenced them there. It was good for them to get their first win of the year, but this is a performance that you just got to roll with Baltimore here. Even though Baltimore still has no running game, and it's amazing to me that they've tried everything, but the injuries is really taking a toll on them on the rushing side. But it doesn't matter because Lamar Jackson is his own one-man running crew. And he had his second 300-yard passing game of his career, which surprised me. I thought he would have had more by now, but he looked amazing yesterday, 316 passing yards, a great 50-yard touchdown to Hollywood Brown there at the end of the game. He leads the NFL in completion, yards per completion, 14.3. He's really stepped it up. I was stunned that the Broncos. I think earlier in the week the Ravens were the underdog. I think by the end of the week the Ravens were the favorite, but I didn't understand that at all. I was surprised the spread wasn't bigger. Even though Baltimore's injured, they still have all that talent there, and they still have Lamar. And they knocked off went to Denver and knocked off one of the 5 teams off that were undefeated, and they're now tied atop the AFC North. Even though they've played 3 of their first 4 games on the road, so now they head home. That should help them there. I think Baltimore wins this one. There's still concerns there with Indianapolis. Major concerns. Obviously, they haven't won that much. I think Baltimore in this game, it's 7 points. I think Lamar really does it, even without a running game and a consistent running game. And that might be something that if they want to go further into the playoffs this year, they're going to need that. They're going to need to try to find anything right now, even though nothing they seem to be doing is working. I'm going to take the Ravens here. I think they cover the spread. I think they win this game. I think it's great momentum. I think Lamar carries them. Give me the Ravens -7. That's it for now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to see, make sure you subscribe down below. I'll be back later this week to break down either week 6, to preview week 6, also every touchdown week 5. Also today I uploaded the every home run of the 2021 MLB regular season video. You can check that out. And also tomorrow I will have a live reaction to Yankees Red Sox. After the game, come here and I will have a reaction as we react to see, can the Yankees win their 1-game wildcard playoff over Boston. See you guys then. Take care and God bless.